Wawa is opening up a new location in the Drexel Line Shopping Center. Sheetz is invading Wawa territory in Downingtown and Concord Township. And we're seeing Wawa sell a few of their sites throughout the region. What does all this mean for housing? I'll explain it next. If you get some value out of this or you like what you hear, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications. And if you want to schedule a call with our team about what Wawa sites and different businesses might mean for your real estate decisions, you can do that with the link in the comments. Everybody loves Wawa in our marketplace. It is a very passionate fan base, and we're seeing some convenience store news start to drop in some local communities. So in Drexel Hill and the Drexel Line Shopping Center, there's a new Wawa location opening. We've also seen their central Pennsylvania counterpart, Sheetz, major competitor. That's like a very heated debate if you hear people argue about Sheetz versus Wawa. They're opening in Concord Township in Downingtown, right on the edge of Downingtown and Coatesville, and are impeding on the Wawa territory. And Wawa's also listed a number of their older sites that don't have gas or don't have the modern stores for sale. And this is something you want to think about as a homeowner or as a buyer wanting to purchase in a community. Because when you see convenience stores start to open, one in Drexel Line Shopping Center, that's incredible for the people that live in Drexel Hill and those areas. And seeing another very like-kind competitor come to Concord Township right in the Coatesville, Downingtown area, well, that tells me those are places you might want to think about when you're looking at making real estate decisions. And it's good news for all the homeowners because there's data out there and there's a couple different kinds of businesses that show there could be a pop in values, or we're seeing more people move to the area because they can support the population. So what I wanted to share here is not so much about Wawa. This is obviously interesting news, but the stores that will indicate a positive impact on home values. So there's a lot of data behind this, and there's a couple different groups. The first is upscale grocery stores. I want you to think about Trader Joe's or Whole Foods or Wegmans. We just saw a new Wegmans get built in King of Prussia, and that area is exploding right now. The same in Malvern, right off Route 29. You're seeing a lot of new construction in both of these communities. It's not a coincidence when that happens. Trader Joe's is planning some new stores. One in Exton. Whole Foods recently opened in Wynwood and in Newtown Square, and all of a sudden Newtown Square had seen this incredible development right down Westchester Pike. So these are some great examples of these high-end grocery stores impacting property values. And according to Atom Data Solutions, there was a study of U.S. Zips that found homes near Trader Joe's had a 51% ROI over 5 years compared to 41% for Whole Foods, 34% for Aldi. We don't have a lot of those around there. I think there was one in Malvern for a while, Nick. Maybe. I'm not sure. It used to be where like Ruby Tuesdays was, which is over by the Wawa there. And a 25% average for the other zip codes that didn't have any of them. Homes within a mile of Trader Joe's or Whole Foods, they saw an average price increase of 8 to 10% over 5 years. Zillow has a study that homes within a quarter mile of Trader Joe's or Whole Foods appreciated faster than those farther away with a 5 to 7% premium. So if you're thinking about buying a home, I'd be looking for these kind of amenities. High-end grocery stores, you think about how often you go to the grocery store or you get it delivered, whatever. There's a need for that in the community. And when those places with a little more expensive groceries can open, that's a good sign for the kind of people that are moving there, and it's a good sign for your housing investment. Number two, the second business category, coffee shops, a Starbucks or a local cafe. And this is another great indicator. They just built a Starbucks a couple years ago in Brookhaven. That's an area that's seen a bounce. Broomall has the new Starbucks that opened right at the edge of Lawrence Park. Same thing. Now, these are over the past 4, 5, 6 years, but this is the kind of stuff that's going on. And there's data and evidence behind that from Zillow and Redfin, and it shows that homes within a half mile of Starbucks appreciate a 0.5 to 1% faster annually, with a cumulative 5 to 7% premium over a decade in urban and suburban markets. So there's that like social lifestyle appeal. There's the gentrification indicator. And there's, minimum negatives there. I mean, Starbucks has a very clear plan for their stores, but I also like the high-end local coffee shops. There's places like Green Engine in Haverford or La Colombe in Bryn Mawr. There are places like Turk's Head in Westchester Borough. These local coffee shops, they bring a little bit of a different type of person into them, and they're people that are okay spending $5, $6, $7 on a cup of coffee. And they're getting like some food and some high-end bakery items, and they're there reading or doing work. Well, that's going to be a boost for the community. So when you see these kind of coffee shops, it's another great indicator to look for when you're searching for a home. And if you're a homeowner, seeing those get built in your neighborhood, you might be seeing values outpace the average based on this data from Zillow and Redfin. Group number 3, specialty retail. Think Nordstrom, REI, or an Apple store. I'm going to point to King of Prussia again. You see the town center over there. We just sold a number of homes right in the town center that are, 2,000 square feet townhomes going for $670,000, $700,000. And there's even smaller properties going in like the 5 to 6 range that are a little smaller, not as big. And they've got the REI right there. They've got Nordstrom Rack, and you've got obviously the Apple store in the mall. Suburban Square, where Apple store is located in Lower Merion, another great indicator. You've got what's going on in Exton and the retail there. Even with the mall closing down, you still have Main Street. These high-end stores are another indicator of areas on the come up because support the businesses. There's a lot of research that goes into this, as well as the affluent buyer appeal, the economic catalyst that they attract with additional retail or dining, where people are going to spend their disposable income. And there's a lot of data around this too. There's an Urban Institute study that says specialty retail in urban centers, such as Apple or high-end retail, were associated with a 4 to 6% increase in nearby home values within a half mile. So there's data behind all this stuff. Category number 4, convenience stores. This is what we're talking about with like Wawa or 7-Eleven. There was a lot of studies here, and specifically Wawa, their customer satisfaction score is very high. It's a ACSI score. It's 82 out of 100. And the fresh food offerings make it a stronger amenity than general convenience stores. So Drexel Hill, that's awesome news. Same thing with like Sheetz, or you've even seen like Royal Farms come into the area right in Broomall. So there's documented data around these types of stores. And the 5th one, and this one's going to get a lot of attention as well, is big box retail. So a Target, a Walmart. We don't have a lot of Walmarts around here. A Costco. There's a lot of studies, and this comes from the National Association of Realtors. Homes near Target stores in suburban areas showed a 3 to 5% value premium within 1 mile, attributed to convenience. And you get comprehensive shopping. Typically, there's like an economic hub there. There's some targeted demographics, obviously, with Target and Costco. So the context here is you want to look for these amenities, and they're going to help your home value. So if you're a buyer wanting to navigate this stuff, drive around a little bit. Check out these neighborhoods. How close are you to all these amenities? And if you see them being built as a home seller, that's excellent news. So these are 5 great categories you can count on that will help propel home values in the future.